HIV is loaded with myths and misunderstanding about what it is, how it's transmitted, and what it means to be HIV positive today. IBTimes UK met a man living with HIV who is on a mission to bust some of the myths which surround this condition.
So it was just after Christmas 2006, so actually I remember getting the phone call on the 2nd of January 2007, so what a happy new year that was for me. I think the feeling that I got first of all was bizarrely a sense of relief, because I'd been ill and I wasn't feeling quite right. It was kind of a sense of relief, and then I think after that, as it kind of the news sunk in a little bit, it was kind of like, wow, what am I going to do? So the first people I told were my parents, actually, and they were fantastic, hugely supportive. And they're both nurses, actually, but this is the thing, there isn't actually that much knowledge about HIV out there.
But when it comes to this misunderstood condition, one of the biggest challenges is ignorance.
A lot of the stigma around HIV is unseen stigma, actually. I think that there is a huge amount of myths about where we are with HIV now, huge amount of myths about transmission risks, what's risky. A friend of mine, when he was diagnosed HIV positive, the first thing that his flatmate said was, do I need to get a separate cutlery drawer now? Just really bizarre things. It's like, can we share a coffee cup? Well, of course you can. That's not a risk of transmission.
What people like Ant say is that there is no need to suffer in silence.
I guess my being open and my wanting to be open is because I feel that I want to try and challenge some of that stigma that is out there, which is based on fear and on misinformation, I guess. And it is a really big, difficult thing to come out as HIV positive, but it's a really important thing, I think. I think we'll only ever try to change the way that society feels about HIV and what it means to be HIV positive if more people are able to, I suppose, bravely tell their story and say what it's actually like. But I'd hope that by my coming forwards that it starts to make things a little bit easier. And I know that that can feel really difficult if you feel that you might be HIV positive. But what you can do is you can change what might happen to you in the future. You can take control, you can know what your status is, you can go and get tested.
Having HIV is not a death sentence. It doesn't mean you can't have a family. Modern drugs work, and people with HIV can expect to live an almost normal lifespan.
And I was able to access lots of care and support. I was able to take control of the situation and be in control of when I started medication. The risk of not getting tested is that you will progressively become sicker and sicker. And whilst HIV medication is fantastic these days, there comes a point at which even the fantastic medication that we have now won't be able to save you. Something like HIV can physically and emotionally just kind of eat away at you inside, I think. It's much better to know and to take control and to get rid of that awful feeling that you might have inside.
Around 100,000 people are infected with HIV in the UK, but 1 in 5 of those with the condition do not know they have it. Being in the dark is bad news for a person with HIV and potentially for partners too. The advice this year's World AIDS Day for people who think they have exposed themselves to the risk of infection is to take the test and find out your HIV status.